I was already walking toward the extraction point when my mission officially ended. The comm implant in my skull buzzed softly, and the familiar voice of command echoed in my head. Agent Kael. Target destroyed. Biological data secured. Mission complete. Proceed to evacuation. For a moment, I allowed myself to breathe. The sky above Planet Aethrys glowed in deep shades of violet and burning gold, its twin suns sinking behind jagged crystal mountains. The air shimmered with bioluminescent spores drifting like slow snowfall. It was beautiful in a way that made you forget how many people had died to reach this point. I turned toward the extraction beacon, a pulsing blue column rising from the alien jungle. My ship would arrive in less than 4 minutes. 4 minutes, and I'd be gone. Earth would be safe. The threat would be neutralized. That's when the ground beneath my feet trembled. At first, I thought it was seismic activity. Aethrys was unstable after all. But the tremor wasn't random. It was rhythmic, controlled, intentional. The jungle parted behind me, and she emerged. The alien queen of Aethrys was nothing like the horrors we had been briefed on. No mindless monster. No towering beast dripping acid and rage. She was tall, yes, nearly 7 feet, but her form was elegant, almost regal. Her skin shimmered like liquid obsidian, threaded with faint glowing veins of silver light. Her eyes were vast and luminous, reflecting stars that weren't even visible in the sky. She wore no armor, yet the air around her felt heavy, charged, as if reality itself bent slightly in her presence. I raised my weapon instantly, muscle memory kicking in. But she didn't attack. She simply looked at me and spoke inside my mind. You have completed your task, human. My heart slammed against my ribs. We had suspected telepathy, but hearing it directly was different. Intimate. Unavoidable. Stay back, I said aloud, though my voice sounded weak even to me. I'm leaving. No, she replied calmly. You're not. The mission. 3 months earlier, Earth's governments had voted unanimously. The Aethrys collective was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. Their species could manipulate gravitational fields and biological matter. Worse, they had discovered a method to travel between star systems without warp technology, something humanity had struggled with for centuries. Intelligence suggested they were preparing to expand.
So they sent me.
Agent Kael Voss, Xenobiological Warfare Division. My objective was simple. Infiltrate the core hive, deploy a gene-severing device that would end the collective's reproductive cycle, and extract with data samples. No war. No invasion. A quiet extinction. I told myself it was necessary. I told myself I was saving billions. The Queen's truth. You should be dead, I said, backing toward the extraction beacon. The device activated. Your species is dying, she finished for me.
Yes.
You succeeded. Her honesty unsettled me more than anger ever could. Then let me leave, I said. There's nothing left for you to stop. She took one slow step forward. The jungle reacted, plants folding inward, as if bowing. There is something you must understand before you go, she said. Because your people are about to repeat a mistake that will end them. I hesitated. That pause would change everything. She raised one long, slender hand, and suddenly the world shifted. I wasn't standing in the jungle anymore. I was seeing. Stars collapsed and reformed. Civilizations rose and burned away like sparks in a cosmic wind. I saw alien species not unlike humanity, curious, ambitious, fearful. And I saw them all make the same choice. Preemptive destruction. Fear-driven genocide. Again and again. Your species believes itself unique, the Queen said softly. But you are painfully familiar. The vision shifted. I saw Earth. Not as it was, but as it would be. Human ships spreading across nearby systems, flagged as threats. Alien alliances forming in secret. Weapons far beyond our comprehension aimed silently toward our home world. "Stop," I whispered. "You were sent here because we frightened you," she continued. "But we never intended conquest. Only survival." I clenched my fists. "You were developing weapons." "So were you," she replied without judgment. The choice. The extraction beacon pulsed faster now. 1 minute remaining. My ship would arrive whether I was ready or not. "Even if what you're saying is true," I said, "it's too late. The device can be reversed," she interrupted, "but only if the one who activated it chooses to stay." My breath caught. "What?" "The gene sever requires a living neural key," she explained. "Your neural signature." I stared at her. Command said nothing about that. Of course they didn't. The ground shook again, this time from the sky. I heard it then. The distant roar of my extraction craft piercing the atmosphere. "You're asking me to die here?" I said. "No," the Queen replied. "I am asking you to live as something more than a weapon." Images flooded my mind. Her people weakened, their hive dimming. Children curled in bioluminescent chambers, their lights fading. Not soldiers, not threats, just lives. My entire career had been built on following orders, on never questioning the narrative. But standing there, between extinction and salvation, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't a mission anymore. It was a choice. Command's final order. "Agent Kael." Command's voice snapped sharply into my mind. "We're reading abnormal psionic activity. Step away from the target immediately." "She's telling the truth," I said quietly. "Your emotions are compromised," Command replied. "Proceed to extraction."
Now.
The Queen watched me in silence. Her presence was not coercive. No mind control. No manipulation. Just waiting. "Kael," Command insisted. "This is an order." I looked up at the sky as my ship descended, engines blazing like artificial suns. All my life, I had believed obedience was the same as honor. Now I wasn't so sure. The ending. I turned away from the extraction beacon. The Queen's eyes widened, not in triumph, but in something closer to sorrow and hope intertwined. "I'm staying," I said. Command exploded into furious shouting, threats of court-martial, of exile, of execution. I reached up and tore the comm implant from my skull. The silence that followed was absolute. The ship hovered overhead for several seconds longer, scanners sweeping desperately. Then it left. The Queen approached me slowly. "Your people will come for you," she said. "They will call you traitor." "I know," I replied. "You will never return to the life you knew." I nodded. That life was built on lies. She extended her hand, not in dominance, but in acceptance. As I placed mine in hers, the world pulsed with light. The device's signal reversed. Across the planet, the dimming lights of the Aethrys collective flared back to life. The hive breathed again. I felt the change within myself too, my neural pathways intertwining with theirs, my mind expanding beyond human limits. I was no longer just an agent. I became a bridge. Years later, when humanity finally returned, not with weapons, but with diplomats, they would learn the truth. That the mission was complete. The threat was neutralized. Not by destruction, but by understanding. And history would remember that the war humanity never fought began with one soldier who chose not to leave when the alien queen stopped him from going home.